Excuse me? That is Star Wars, son. Like, what are you doing right now? I'm just saying, respectfully. That's not Game of Thrones. That's Star Wars. You know, I never thought that I would be making a video on, of all things, Game of Thrones. I mean, it's one of my favorite TV series of all time. It's probably my favorite, but a lot of people ended up dropping it, or they don't really consider it the best of all time or one of the greats because of the last 2 seasons. Now, you know, we're not going to talk about the last 2. 7, not as bad, but 8, whew, that's a taboo conversation. You know, I don't necessarily want to talk about. I just don't want to talk about season 8. So we're not. But we are going to talk about everything else, and maybe season 8 at some point if we get to that point. But I would need a lot of likes. Speaking of likes, if you guys want season 2 of this, and then give me 7,000 likes. I think that's fair. Anyways, Game of Thrones take place mostly in Westeros. And Westeros is like the overarching, you know, place that everyone is. You know, there's King's Landing, there's Winterfell, the Vale, there's a bunch of different places that you'll see throughout all of Game of Thrones. But our story starts on the wall. You're probably wondering what the hell the wall is, and well, you know, it's a thing that separates stuff, you know, like the Great Wall of China, or your girlfriend's 2 thighs that house her voluptuous. I can't say that on the video. There's kids here. Okay, all right. Want to get canceled? All right, my bad. Anyways, there's people that serve on the wall. These people are called the Night's Watch. Yeah, because they watch in the night. They look at things. Anyways, some of these Night's Watch members are going to observe something, to see something that was a bit of a disturbance. And this guy right here that's getting off of the horse sees, oh my God, what the fuck? Yo, did these niggas take these bodies and form them in some sort of pattern? What is this, signs? Wait, what is happening right now? Now, one of the guys seems to think that the wildlings did this. And the wildlings are people that live on the other side of the wall. They don't really conform to societal standards. They just kind of do what they want. They're wildlings, you know. The name's pretty self-explanatory. However, there's another guy in the group that seems to think that it was just a little bit weird that these dead bodies aren't something that wildlings would have done. So he tells his mans, the guy that's leading this group, that they should go back and check it out to make sure that these dead bodies are actually from the wildlings and not something more sinister and dangerous. And that's exactly what they do. They go back, but dun 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 dun. Oh my God, the people are fucking missing. How in the hell is it possible that these people are missing though? Like, what, did they get up and start walking around on their own? Oh my God, they did. Remember the little girl that he saw? Yeah, the one that startled him? Well, she is alive, but not alive. I mean, they're dead. They're like undead, I guess, zombies. I don't really know, whatever you want to call them. But this one in particular is very adept in weaponry, as you see him cut someone's head off. Yep, he cut a guy's head off 5 minutes into the story. These are called White Walkers. They're like dead guys that walk around, and they're white, but not like Caucasian though. They're kind of like, you know, gray. They kind of look like Zordon from Power Rangers, or Kratos maybe, you know, that kind of gray, but whatever, they call them White Walkers. Anyways, the one guy in particular that witnessed all of this, there's a bunch of ways to break your oath: leaving your post, having sex, sipping codeine lean, things that you're just not supposed to do. So he goes to Winterfell, which is basically the capital of the North. It's like the hub of the North, and you know, the warden of the North is Lord Eddard Stark, but everybody calls him Ned because, I mean, the nickname for Eddard is Ned for some reason, you know, whatever. Now they tell him that this guy abandoned his post, and because of that, he has to chop his head off. It just is what it is. Yo, sir, listen, I know I'm a deserter and all that, son, but I seen the White Walkers, son. They are real. Okay, son, and I had to come here because I'm fucking scared, and I know that you're gonna cut my head off, son. Please forgive me, Lord. I know that I have left my post and all that shit. So this dude, Eddard Stark, sentenced this guy to die, and he cuts his head off. Hit him with that little speech. I, Lord Eddard Stark, Lord of Winterfell, sentence you to death. And the whole time, bro, you sitting over there, you got the brothers, bro. You got Rob, okay? This is John, who's a bastard, you know. He's... If you know, you know. But anyways, he's Ned's son that, you know, the Ned had an affair. So he's not Catelyn, you know, Cat. It's not her son. You also have the sisters, Sansa, the oldest, and the youngest Arya. And then you have a younger brother named Bran. And then there's Theon. Theon is not their brother at all. He actually is a Greyjoy. Yep, Lord Greyjoy lost him in a war. Fucking Ned took him as a steward and basically has been using him as a slave. It's like a whole thing, but that's besides the point. And then there's another even younger brother. Can't remember his name at all, but he's not super relevant, especially not now. And yep, that's it. Anyways, dude cuts his head off and Jon makes a low ass nigga Bran watch. Talking about if you don't watch, dad gonna know. Now they headed back to Winterfell and they end up seeing a fucking beast dead, bro. And they look and they like, oh my God, what the fuck? And it's a dire wolf, which is just a wolf, but very big. Now the dire wolf dying from the stag is like a symbolism, okay? It's something that you should hold on to. It's foreshadowing, okay? Remember that. Stag killed the dire wolf, okay? I want y'all to remember that. But it had puppies though, and now everyone's got dire wolf puppies. Now at first Jon wasn't going to get one, but he ended up finding the runt of the litter, which is a white wolf. So yeah, Jon did get one, but it's also the runt, so they make fun of him for it. Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter though is the fact that Jon Arryn has died. Now, Jon Arryn is very important to everything. He is someone that was super important to Ned, but also Robert. He was the hand of the king. Now, the hand of the king is like the right hand to the king. If something happens to the king, usually the hand of the king takes over until an heir is of age. It's a whole political thing. None of it matters right now, but it will. So hold on to that. Now, Robert is on his way to Winterfell because of this. Robert is the king of Westeros, and he is the one that sits on the Iron Throne. You're going to hear the term Iron Throne a lot throughout this series. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so everyone is getting ready, bro. They bringing in the best drinks. I'm talking about Don Julio, Casamigos, 1942, Hennessy, Codeine Lean, a little bit of fentanyl on the side. I'm talking about all of that. They bringing out all the stops. Shit, even niggas is getting haircuts. They even put my little man's Arya in the dress, which is crazy, by the way. She's clearly a little boy. Foreshadowing. Anyways, none of that matters though. The reason why Robert is on his way here, and Cat knows this, is because he's gonna ask Ned to be hand of the king. This is something that is a great responsibility, a great responsibility. However, it's a bad job because I mean, you end up dying, your life sucks, your day's long, your life's short. That's a quote from Jaime Lannister, by the way. Jaime and Cersei had this little scene where they talk about this, and I didn't really go over it much because, I mean, it's not super important. However, all you need to know is Cersei is married to Robert, and Jaime is Cersei's twin brother. They also have another brother who we'll see later. There's an unfortunate thing about Jaime and Cersei that we're not going to speak of. It's very taboo, but it's going to happen in this episode, and we'll get to it. There's a lot of moving parts. I hope you guys are keeping up. If you aren't, just make sure you rewind the video and keep watching over and over again until you get it. Anyways, Robert's here. Yep, the whole cavalry done came in. Look at him, bro. Everybody tweaking out. And wait a minute. Stop. Pause real quick. I just want to pinpoint to something very quickly. So Cat finds this man Bran climbing, okay, and tells him to stop climbing, and he should probably listen to his mom. Foreshadowing. This nigga acting like he on American Ninja Warrior, but whatever. Anyways, everybody's here, bro. Robert bringing the whole cavalry with him. Jaime came, Cersei came. Man, Robert, bro. Robert's just a jolly old bastard, bro. He's kind of fat, you know, but like not like in a bad way, you know, in the way of like, yo, I'm eating good. You know what I'm saying? Like my life used to be tough. You can tell that I'm battle tested, but I really be out here eating my fill and drinking my fill because I'm king, and you know, it is what it is, nigga. Get used to it, get with it or get lost. You feel me? Now Rob pops up on that and everybody, and they end up going to the little underground, catacombs, I guess you would call this. So the reason why Ned and Robert are so close is because Robert used to be married to Lyanna Stark, I believe is her name. Don't quote me on that. Please correct me in the comment section. This is gonna be the first and last time I say her name, unless I figure it out this episode. That's besides the point. Now, that was Ned's sister, so that's why Rob and Jon are close. Anyways, they go in the catacombs, and obviously he asked him to be hand of the king. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, I've been thinking, Ned, like on some real shit, cuz I need you at King's Landing. Like, hey, let me stop you right there, man. First off, you need to get a belt with some more loops on it. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker look like it's about to bust, but that's besides the point. Speaking of bust, how's Cersei and her brother? All right, my fault. That's besides the point. But anyway, motherfucker, man, you gotta let me think about this shit. That's a big ass job. Man, listen, I don't got no fucking time for you to think, man. I need you to tell me right now if you gonna be handed the king. Well, you just gonna have to wait then. Just like you should have waited for dinner, fat bitch. Take money. Now after this, Jaime goes to find Tyrion. Tyrion is Cersei and his brother, and he finds him. The GOAT! I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tyrion is my favorite character in this whole show, besides Jon. But you know, Jon, me and him have a love-hate relationship, bro. We'll talk about that at some point. Anyways, Tyrion, all he does is have sex with whores, drinks, and does very, very intelligent things. Like, this dude is probably one of the most tactical and strategic people in the entire show, and it's crazy that he has so much brains in that little ass body, but whatever. Now, while all of this is happening at Winterfell, on the whole other side of the Narrow Sea is Daenerys Targaryen, who is getting examined by her brother, and her body is getting felt on, which is very weird, by the way. We're gonna have to blur this, and can't really show you guys, but anyways, Daenerys is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. And by pretty bad, I mean she's bad as fuck. Yo, what's good, bro? Now at this point in the story, you know, us meeting Daenerys and her brother, we find out that the Targaryens, they used to be in charge of the Iron Throne. They actually were the most powerful family in all of Westeros history, and it's because they had dragons. Yep, those big things with wings that breathe fire everywhere. These niggas had a bunch of Charizards, bro. They was going crazy. But then eventually the dragons go extinct, their king becomes mad, and they basically get pushed out, usurped by someone close to them, who was Jaime Lannister. That's why they call him the Kingslayer. He killed his king. And then, you know, eventually Robert Baratheon comes into power, and, you know, now where we're at. It's really, it's a lot, man, I honestly, but anyways, the Targaryens feel that their bloodline are the chosen ones. So they're the people that are supposed to be on the Iron Throne, and because of that, Daenerys' brother wants to use her in order to form a union with these people called the Dothraki. They are led by Khal Drogo, this really big guy that's played by Jason Momoa. When I first saw him, I said, wait a minute, nigga, is that Aquaman? Now, I know you're saying that this came out before Aquaman did, which, duh, nigga, but obviously I watched it after Aquaman was the thing, so you know that's why I said that, although he was Khal Drogo first, and just wanted to let that be known. Now Daenerys meets Khal Drogo, and obviously she doesn't really want to be with this nigga. I mean, he's a savage. I don't know the words to Meg Thee Stallion songs. I just know the cadence, but that's besides the point. Now, basically, Daenerys is expressing to her brother that she doesn't want to be in this union, and he lets her know that, hey, I would let 1,000 men put their dick in you if it meant I was going to be king. It's kind of trash. Anyways, back at Winterfell, Sansa's talking to her mom, Cat, about Joffrey. Yep, Prince Joffrey, who Sansa thinks is handsome, but this nigga is literally the funniest looking nigga in the whole castle, and there's a fucking dwarf there. I just want y'all to know that, bro. This dude Joffrey looks funny as shit. I don't know why she's saying this. Maybe it's just the clout from being the prince or whatever, but anyways, him and Sansa are supposed to wed, you know. Eventually they'll get married, unite the families, blah 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 blah, whatever. Anyways, Jon Snow's outside practicing with a dummy. It's easy to beat up on a dummy that can't fight back, and his uncle Benjen comes from the Night's Watch. Now Jon, he be going through it, bro. He feels like his life sucks, which it doesn't, but he wants to go to the Night's Watch, give up literally everything. It's really stupid. Bro talking about, I don't care, Uncle Benjen, I don't care. I hate it here because I'm a bastard and no one likes me. Like, bro, if you don't shut your bitch ass up, bro, keep talking all that dumb ass shit. Now, for some reason, because he gets treated badly by Cat, even though everybody else is nice to him. Like, I mean, they might pick on him here and there as siblings, but bro, he lives in this big ass nice fucking, is this a castle? Like, what do you even call that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He has a great life and he wants to throw it all away. Anyways, doesn't make much sense, and Tyrion doesn't think it does either. And as he explains to him, hey man, you're a bastard, we get it, wear it like armor, they can never hurt you. That's not really true, but you know, whatever. Anyways, none of that's important. What is important is Sansa is talking to Cersei, and well, you know, the questions are odd. Like, why are you asking her if she's bled yet? What kind of question is that? Such a weird question. You know, whatever. Joffrey also gave her a little winky wink. What a fucking douchebag. Anyways, nobody wants any of this to happen, bro. Okay, I'm lying. Everybody wants it to happen, except for Cat. She's the main one that doesn't want Ned to leave. And I mean, I understand. I get it. It's your husband. Why would you want him to leave? To go die in a castle? Now, anyways, later that night, something important happened. A raven came. You're going to hear a raven came a lot. They have trained ravens that know exactly where to go somehow. I don't know if these niggas got GPS or what, bro, but they get the letters where they need to go. Anyways, Kat finds out that Jon Arryn's wife, she fled the capital because Jon Arryn got murdered. Yep, the Lannisters killed him because apparently he maybe knew something he wasn't supposed to. I don't really know why, but we'll find out soon enough. Now, this is bad because this means that the king is obviously in danger. This is going to make Ned want to, go there and help out even more. Now, I will say that I don't understand why Ned didn't just tell Robb right now what was going on. They could have addressed the problem right here. This is probably the best place to do it. When all their men are here, when they can't get fucking assassinated. But obviously, Ned didn't think that far ahead. Anyways, Daenerys and Kyle have a wedding and everyone gives them a bunch of stuff. All this, most of it's not important, except for one of the Dothraki murdered another one over some woman that they were humping on, which is crazy. We meet Ser Jorah Mormont, who used to serve Daenerys' father. He's going to be a very important character. And also, Daenerys got 3 dragon eggs that have somehow turned to stone. And also, at the end of the wedding, the cow, he raped Daenerys. Yes, this is not going to be the last time it happens either. It's pretty sad. Anyways, at Winterfell, everyone is leaving. It's time for everyone to make their exit. So they do. And Bran decides that he's going to start climbing. And so he does. After his mom told him not to. Anyways, he gets to the top of the tower and he realizes that once he gets to the top, he sees... Drum roll, please. Wait, I did the drum roll first. I'm an idiot. Anyways, he sees... Yo, real quick. Chill. Man, y'all know what it is when a dude say, chill. He's about to drop a banger. Yeah, that's right. I done made a new channel, bro. This is going to be a little bit different, but I think that it's going to be something fire for y'all because it's mad relatable to a lot of people. I love true crime, okay? I know that y'all probably like true crime. I think the true crime is mad interesting, especially when it's like real life stuff. And I know fake little true crime thing. So I made a body cam footage channel, bro. Yes, where I'm about to do commentary videos on real life crimes happening in real time. Real criminals, real raw, uncut. You know what I'm saying? Insert hub noise. All right, my fault. But make sure that y'all hit this little eye right here or go in the pinned comment or description and go watch that vid. After you finish this one, though, you feel me? Like, run this joint up first and then go watch that. When you feel me? All right, love you guys. Bye. Cersei and Jaime having sex. Yes, that is the twist in episode 1. Jaime and Cersei are twin brothers and sisters that have sex. You'll probably see where this is going. Jon Arryn gets killed because he knows too much about something that we don't know about yet. Cersei and Jaime are having sex. Somehow all of Jaime's and Robb's kids, wink wink, all have blonde hair. Yep, that's right. If you've already figured it out, then you figured it out. But I don't want to spoil everyone else that doesn't understand it yet. So I'm just going to shut up until we get to that point. Anyways, episode 2 starts with all of the Dothraki riding on their horses. You need to drink, child. I don't really want to, man. Is there anything else to eat? What the fuck is this? Is this beef jerky? Oh my god, I don't want this. We find out here that Jorah Mormont got caught being a slaver. He wasn't buying slaves, he was selling them. He found some poachers on his land, he sold them into slavery, and because of that, he's wanted by Ned Stark. So yeah, that's the thing. Anyways, why is Tyrion asleep in the stables with animals right now? What kind of night did he have, bro? He was off that Don Julio. Anyways, Joffrey pulls up on him and finds him, and well, they have a little moment. Now we find out here in the morning after Tyrion ends up slapping Joffrey in the mouth twice. He tells him to go apologize to the Starks, which he should because he's a piece of shit, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we find out from Tyrion that the Maester says Bran has survived. Yep, he didn't die, but he is in a coma. So, of course he is for plot convenience sake. Anyways, if he wasn't in a coma, he would have told him that he got pushed by Jaime. And Jaime probably would have got killed right here. Anyways, this bitch Cersei is sick, bro. She goes to go visit Kat while Bran is in a coma, bro. And they're crying to Kat about one of her kids and shit. Like, bro, motherfucker, you're the reason why this happened. What kind of sick, twisted... Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter too much. Yo, this dude Jaime done popped up on Jon talking shit, though.
Bro talking about, give my regards to the Night Watch. You know, it's only for life. Man, John talking about, we served the wall and protected the people for 8,000 years. Oh, is it we already?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If I was John, I would smack the shit out of Jamie, bro. He's talking too heavy. Like, stand up for yourself, bro. Stop letting people disrespect you like that. You got like a bitch. Anyways, Jamie talking shit to him doesn't deter him. I mean, he's still gonna go to the wall. He goes and talks to Arya as well, and he gives her a sword, which looks like a fucking toy knife. Not really. It's like a rapier kind of. I don't really know. A fencing sword? I don't know how to describe this, but all you need to know is she names it Needle. Yep, she names it Needle. This is Needle. Anyways, John's about to leave, so he goes to tell Bran bye, and Kat obviously hates it because, I mean, she hates John. Now, it's important to remember that John is a reminder to Kat of Ned's infidelity. Ned came to Winterfell before Kat even got there with a wet nurse and John, so obviously Kat was a bit bitter about it. She believes that Ned didn't really love her and that maybe he loves John's mother more, and that their marriage was kind of like a political arrangement. That's not the case, but we'll find out all that way later down the line. Anyways, while he's kissing Bran goodbye and telling his brother he loves him and that they can walk together, which is crazy because he's probably never going to walk again, John, but whatever, I digress. Kat looks over to this nigga and says, I want you to leave. With tears in her eyes, bro. That's how you know she hate this nigga. Anyways, that's not too important. What is important is Ned walked in on this and, you know, obviously he's like, damn, nigga, why are you talking to my son like that? Okay, he doesn't say that. Wish he did, though. She's all sad about Bran, but she's also sad because, well, Ned's a cheating bitch and he's leaving. All right, okay, maybe not so mad about the fact that he cheated. I mean, she's pretty much just got to live with that. But it's hard for her to live with the fact that, well, he's about to ride off with Robert. Again, last time he rode off with Robert, he came back with another son. Yes, most of this boils down to the fact Kat doesn't want him to leave because this nigga might cheat again. Even way back in medieval fucking times in some fantasy world, women still think niggas aren't shit. And in this case, she's right. I mean, Ned's not going to leave and get someone pregnant again, you know, obviously. But, I mean, in her mind, he did. At least the first time. Now, John's speaking to Ned before he's about to go over to the Night's Watch. You know, he's about to leave. Now, as John is about to ride off, he talks to Ned. And he asks him about his mom. Does my mom know where I'm going?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Your mom, I loved your mom. You know what I'm saying? But we can't talk about her right now, okay? Next time we see each other, we'll talk about your mom, I promise.
Wait a minute. I'm going to the wall. I'll probably never see you again.
Shut your bitch ass up. Be all right, man. Always crying and shit.
Now, they go their separate ways, and my man John is going to the wall. But Rob and Ned, well, they're traveling to King's Landing. And they stop in the country to have a conversation. A raven came. Yep. Another fucking raven. Well, it's a courier this time, but okay, I guess it wasn't a raven. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's either a raven or a courier most of the time, and it was a courier this time. But they told Robert that Daenerys Targaryen has a whole Dothraki horde of 100,000 men, which is insane work. Anyways, none of that's important. What is important, though, is that they have a conversation, and Robert says that he'll kill every Targaryen that he can get his hands on. He believes that a war is coming, and, well, there is one coming. We just don't know how or when or where. Jesus, this show is crazy. It's like The Wire, but fucking knights and shit. Anyways, Jon and Tyrion have a conversation while they're on their way to the wall, and the Night's Watch, they take criminals, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Most of the time, it's criminals or, you know, people that have abandoned their kingdoms or ran away from home, shit like that, bro. But it's usually people that don't really want to be there. So Jon volunteering is kind of crazy. Anyways, back at Winterfell, there was a distraction afoot. Yeah, Kat was in there with Rob, and, you know, he got distracted and ended up running off. But because of this, there was an opportunity. Yep, an opportunity for Bran to die to this random assassin. Yeah, this assassin was literally about to kill Bran, which is crazy work, by the way. Look at this ugly ass nigga with this crazy knife. I ain't gonna lie, though. That dagger kind of fire, though. Is that Valyrian steel? Okay, there's no way for me to have known that except for the fact that I know this show, but that's besides the point. Anyways, Valyrian steel was very expensive, and this lowly ass assassin, this bum ass nigga, wouldn't have it. So this came from somebody with a little bit of power, a little bit of money. Anyways, as he cuts Kat and before he could kill Bran, the direwolf, thank God, is there. Fucking eats this guy. Okay, he doesn't eat him whole, you know, but he does bite him though. Takes a good chunk out of him. It's like me on a Saturday night binge of cheesecake and regret. Now Daenerys is back across the narrow sea, and she's trying to figure out how to stop getting humped on the way she is. This dude Khal Drogo literally just be giving her back shots whenever he wants to, and she hates it. So she talks to some of the ladies about how to, I don't know, maybe change the way things are going. She wants them to teach her how to make the call happy. It's pretty hard to make this weird ass nigga happy, but again, I digress. Now at this point, it's very important to figure out what the hell happened and why people are trying to kill Bran. Now Cat believes that he's got thrown from that tower, not that he fell, which makes sense because an assassin literally just tried to murder him with a weapon that's too good for him, which means it was given to him by some sort of noble. Because of this, Cat wants to travel to King's Landing to tell Ned about it. Robb wanted to go, but there must always be a Stark in Winterfell. Even though Bran is there, I mean, he is unconscious though, but whatever. So she's on her way with Ned's trusted, but she's on her way to King's Landing, accompanied by Ned's, I honestly don't know this guy's name. Yeah, I've seen Game of Thrones 18 times and I don't know this guy's name. You know what? Whatever. It's not important. What is important is she's on her way, and Daenerys is also on her way to not get completely took advantage of. Her and Cal have sex, and instead of getting back shots, she decides to ride him this time. So that's like a thing, who would have known that Daenerys would have gotten taught how to ride by a whore? Anyway, she looks at Khal Drogo in the eye this time. She wants to watch him while they have sex, and I guess making him happy is going to be able to make her life a little better. Probably better than getting random back shots at any point in the day. Anyways, after this, Sansa and Joffrey, well, they get to hang out together. After they run into this weird ass looking nigga, bro, like, calm down. Anyways, this part of the scene is really annoying, and it's the first time that I realized Joffrey's a piece of shit. Now, Joffrey and Sansa are gonna go hang out, but not until Sansa runs into this weird looking ass nigga. And anyways, this guy with her, this big old brute, is the Hound. He is the dog of the king, and whatever. He's not important yet. He will be though. Trust and believe that. Anyways, this next scene let me know that Joffrey is a complete asshole. See, Arya's just having fun with the butcher's boy. They're playing with sticks, pretending that they're sword fighting. Here comes Joffrey trying to be super tough. No, you hit my sweet Sansa's sister. Like, bro, shut your bitch ass up. So he pulls a real sword out on this kid. Arya ends up hitting him, and obviously the wolf's gonna protect Arya, so it bites him. This is bad though. Arya gets the running and sends the wolf away because, well, doesn't want the wolf to get hurt. Eventually they find him though, and here comes Robert being told about everything that happened. Now, obviously, this whole part is kind of fucked up, bro, because Robert doesn't know who to believe. Joffrey saying one thing, Sansa saying another thing, Arya saying another thing. Somehow Cersei's involved. Like, it's all messy. But what ends up happening is Sansa lies. Yep, this is the first time that Sansa has lied for Joffrey, but it will not be the last. Sansa's pretty fucking dumb. She doesn't really make much character development until like later on in the show. She's really annoying. I know some of you in the comments are probably going to be defending her, but whatever. She's probably my least favorite character outside of people that are meant to be disliked. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to dislike Sansa, but I do. So yeah, anyways, doesn't matter. What does matter is they have sentenced the wolf to death. Yep, they're gonna kill the wolf. And since Arya sent hers away, they're gonna kill Sansa's. Ned says that he's gonna go do it because, she deserves more than a butcher's death since, she's a wolf of the north. Anyways, that butcher's boy, well, the Hound, he killed him. The Hound pretty much does anything that anyone from the crown says. So yeah, he murdered that butcher's kid. Kind of sad, actually. Anyways, Ned goes and kills the wolf, which is also super sad. But as soon as the wolf dies, Bran wakes up. Yep, that's right. Bran is awake. This nigga is conscious, and we're gonna find out very soon if he knows what happened to him. Anyways, Ned has finally arrived in King's Landing. Maester Pycelle has asked him to meet him because, well, he's the hand of the king. What a swell job. Now he pops up in the throne room, and here is Jaime Lannister. Now, every time Ned and Jaime come around each other, they always have a great exchange of words, and this was no difference. Oh, Ned, I'm so happy that there's some northern protection. Man, shut your bitch ass up with that dumb ass talking and shit. You don't even sound like that.
Yo, my fault, cuz. Man, I be trying to keep on appearances. You know how that go.
Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of odd, you being in this room, huh? It's where your dad and your brother died. Yo, ain't your brother dead?
Shut your bitch ass up, man, talking about my dad. You just sat there and watched.
Hey, man, me and 500 people sat here and watched, man. Shit, it was quiet as hell in here, besides them screaming from agony, being killed and shit. But, when I stabbed the king, shit, kind of felt like justice,
Oh, that's what you tell yourself? That it was justice for my father? And shut your whole ass up, man. Killed your king, man. You served him well when it was safe to, pussy.
Now, after they have their exchange of words, he goes to meet everyone. This is Lord Baelish, Maester Pycelle, Renly Baratheon, who is Robert Baratheon's brother, and Lord Varys, who was a eunuch. Yep, he doesn't have his penis. Kind of sad, but that's what's going on. Anyways, Ned has a meeting here, and there's gonna have this big tournament where there's a bunch of jousters and horse riding and all types of amazing things. It's not really that amazing, you know, obviously, now that I think about it, but whatever. It's going to cost a lot of money. Money that the Lannisters are going to have to pay. Yeah, that's a thing that happens a lot. The Lannisters are kind of like a secret entity that, you know, ends up bailing out America. Wink, wink. Now, Arya is crashing out because her friend got murdered by the Hound. Rightfully so. I'd crash out too if my sister was a lying bitch. Her dad tells her to relax and says that he's going to be by later to talk to her. We'll see how that goes.
Where the hell you get that goddamn sword from?
My brother gave it to me.
Wait, which brother?
John.
Man, that nigga ain't your motherfucking brother, man.
I wanted to practice. I asked my friend to, but, well, you know what happened to him. It's all my fault, Dad.
Man, that ain't your motherfucking fault. It's Joffrey's fault with his messed up teeth. He looked like some sort of inbreed baby or something. I don't know, man. Something off about him.
I hate all of them, Dad. Sansa, Joffrey, the Queen, the King for bringing us here, and for eating all of the food last night. His fat ass always eating everything.
Man, that motherfucker do be eating everything. But that's besides the point. We can't fight no war amongst ourselves, though. You know what I'm saying? That's your sister.
Now, Ned leave and he let Arya keep her little sword. You feel me? As long as she promises not to stab her sister with it. Now, back at Winterfell, Bran is awake and with some old ass lady who apparently tells really bad stories. I hate your stories. Whatever. I hate you. Damn. All right. Now you have to do me like that. Anyways, Bran clearly hates her stories, but she ends up telling him a stupid ass story anyway. But it doesn't matter because Robb comes in. Now, you ask Bran if he can remember everything, but, well, he doesn't. He remembers nothing. But none of that matters because Robb intervenes, and, well, Bran still doesn't remember anything. But he does say that he'd wish he was dead instead of being paralyzed from the waist down. Can't really blame him. That's probably terrible. Anyways, Kat finally ends up in King's Landing, and she gets escorted to a nigga that's in love with her, Lord Baelish. The one guy in the capital that you should never trust. Trust and believe that. It's kind of ironic to trust that you shouldn't trust them. Anyways, they talk about this dagger and Bran's attack, and Lord Varys and Baelish realize that this dagger belongs to Lord Tyrion. Yep, Tyrion Lannister is the one that owns this dagger. Wow. Can't believe it. Anyways, back at the wall, Jon Snow is beating all of his peers up. Bro literally whooped all of their ass. This guy right here, yeah, this guy in front of Jon that's chastising him, well, he's a hating ass nigga. He really doesn't like Jon Snow, and that's not gonna change. All the way until damn near the end of the fucking story. Just wait on it. Also, a raven came. Now, this raven came from Ned Stark's son, and it appears to be bad news. Also, a raven came for Ned. Ravens just always are coming, bro. They should probably get that checked out. But Ned also finds out from Lord Baelish that Kat is in town, and he has her in a brothel. Ned didn't like that Kat is being held in a brothel, so he was about to chokeslam this nigga Lord Baelish like he's the Undertaker. But it's okay, Kat calls out to him, which calms him down. Back at the wall, Jon got attacked by his peers and ended up getting saved by Lord Tyrion. Thank God for the imp, right? We find out that Pip got thrown in there because his sister was starving. She hadn't eaten in 3 days and he stole a wheel of cheese. It was his right hand or the wall. And you know, that's his beat meat hand, so he was at the wall. Tyrion tries to explain to Jon that all these people can't fight as good as him because, well, he grew up in Winterfell with a literal master armsman like Sir Roderick. Basically, he's saying, you have white privilege, shut the fuck up. Anyways, Kat tells Ned about the attack and, well, he says that if he ends up getting real evidence of the attack and it being from the Lannisters, that he'll take it to Robb and hopefully Robert will still be the man that he once was. You know, Ned really fuck with Robb, bro. And I mean, it makes sense though that they fuck with each other. I mean, they went to war, they share family. Well, they did share family until she died. I'm pretty sure that Ned named Robb after Robb. That would only make sense to me. Back at King's Landing, Robert's in there telling war stories. Talks about how he killed this Tarly boy and caved his chest plate in with a hammer. My God. He also shits on Jaime and the Lannisters, but you know, that's something that he normally does. Jaime talks about how his first kill was cutting some kid's head off. He was like 16 years old, a squire, I think. None of this really matters except for the fact we get a little bit more insight on the fact that Jaime killed his king. I mean, we talked about this before with Ned when they had their little altercation, but apparently the king just kept saying burn them all. Now, he was saying burn them all because he's fucking insane. I mean, that's why they call him the Mad King. That's pretty much all you need to know about him. The Khalasar have been moving. Yep, Daenerys, Jorah Mormont, and wait a minute. Why the fuck is her brother crashing out like this? You don't give me commands, bitch. Bro, I couldn't believe it. He said one sentence and got his whole neck grabbed up with a rope. Now, obviously, Daenerys doesn't want her brother harmed, so she tells one of the Dothraki members not to kill him. Makes sense, though. I mean, she does care about her brother, which is surprising to me because he's literally a piece of shit, but you know, whatever. Anyways, let's go see what Jon's doing at the wall. Yep, he's literally looking over the wall. That's all it is there, bro. It's just ice and wall and the hopes of maybe one day becoming a ranger like his Uncle Benjen. Yep, speaking of Uncle Benjen, he goes to see him and, well, he's leaving in the morning for ranger duties. Jon wants to go, but he can't because, well, at the wall, you get what you earn. And Jon has earned nothing except for, you know, being cold, freezing half to death, almost being murdered by his peers, not being able to have sex with women, and being annoyed by an imp. What a life, man. What a wonderful life. This nigga Tyrion, bro, speaking of him, man, he been getting into it with niggas, bro. Tyrion even got into it with Benjen. Yeah, Benjen doesn't really like Tyrion because he feels like he's spoiled and, oh, you get to live in the summer and have all this great weather and fine ass bitches that you pay coin for because, well, no one would want to fuck you because you're literally 3 feet tall. What a wonderful life you're living. While I'm out here freezing half to death and I ain't seen a goddamn woman in 7 years. Anyway, sounds like to me Uncle Benjen's just being a hating ass nigga, but you know, what I know. Anyways, at the Khalasar, we find out Daenerys is pregnant. Yep. She's literally pregnant already. Hasn't bled in 2 moons, they say. I don't know what the fuck that means, but her like maiden or whatever, I guess you would call this, found out by feeling her breast. So that's a thing. We also find out back at the wall that winter is coming. They keep saying this, but I really don't know what they mean by it. I mean, I guess I do mean literally winter is coming, but they keep saying like it has some sort of significance. We find out in this world that seasons are weird. Like there's been a summer for 9 years, but winter's coming. Tyrion said that the winter of his birth, it was 3 years long. What kind of weird ass mythological place do they live in? Are these niggas in Narnia? Anyways, Arya has started sword practice lessons with a sword master, Sirio Farrell. Fake ass Mihawk, bro. What is this dude talking about? This nigga think he's Zoro? She practices and Ned comes in to watch. He also has PTSD of all of the fighting and killing that he's done over the years. Nigga starts hearing sword clings. What a way to end episode 3 with our guy Ned literally about to have a panic attack. Anyways, episode 4 starts off with Bran having a dream about a crow. I know that this is a dream because, well, this nigga's walking. So either it's a flashback or this nigga's in mid-REM sleep. Yo, what the hell? That raven got 3 eyes? You probably won't realize this, but that has a lot of significance. You're not going to find out the significance of this until like way later though. And well, we're only in season 1, so strap in. Speaking of season 2, if you guys want me to do a season 2, I will. But I need at least 7,000 likes. I think that'll do. Anyways, this episode, Bran wakes up from his dream and we meet Hodor, the goats. This nigga looks like Big Show. Well, it's Hodor. Also, Theon's here and, well, I hate Theon because he's a douchebag and ugly, but you know, whatever. Anyways, Hodor brings Bran out and, well, Tyrion, he has a design for a saddle. Now Tyrion is there and he's created a design for a saddle for Bran so we can ride horses. They give him the hospitality of Winterfell, but he decides to go to a brothel instead. He talks to Theon on the way out and well, let's just say that Theon, well, we find out he got captured. He's a Greyjoy and his father tried to stage a rebellion where they were outnumbered 10-1, which is kind of idiotic. Tyrion tells him that it's a stupid ass idea, especially when his brothers died in battle, and he ended up a squire to his captors. This man Tyrion left by throwing a coin to Theon, telling him he's gonna wear the whore out that Theon be fucking on. But not too much though. Yo, Sean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be out, alright? I'm about to go fuck on that bitch in that brothel. I'll try not to wear her ass out too much, yo. Man, hold on, man, that's my bitch, man. Hey, come back here, cuz. Now, back at the wall, we find a new ghost. Samwell Tarly. I think that's his name, Samwell Tarly. Anyways, my man Big Sam. Remember they were talking about the Tarly boy earlier that got killed, you know? He's a part of that family. Anyways, Sam, that's one of my goats. I fuck with him. He's a little awkward, chubby, and he can't fight well, as you see here. But outside of that, he's very intelligent. And he has the ability to educate himself and to learn, which is something that a lot of people lack around this time, clearly. Motherfuckers got the IQ of a fucking baby diaper. Anyways, the Khalasar is still traveling, and Daenerys' brother is mad. He feels like his army is going the wrong direction. I think he should just, I don't know, realize that, well, this isn't his army. I say his army like that because clearly it isn't. He has a stupid ass scene in the shower. He talks about dragons and stuff with this prostitute. He puts candle wax on his chest, but I'm gonna keep it a band. Don't care. Back at King's Landing, Sansa talks about Joffrey and maybe having kids. Yay. I know I don't talk about Sansa much, but it's because I really don't like her character. I know you guys are going to tell me that I'm, wrong and Sansa's great, I guess. Well, I hope that you don't tell me that because she isn't, but that's besides the point. Anyways, the Hand of the King is having a meeting about expenses and the things going on in the city. We find out that there's more and more people flooding into the city each and every day. They had a riot break out in a brothel. Niggas ODing on codeine lean. It's a crazy life, man. Real shit. Now, Ned ends up talking to the Meister about Jon Arryn and what happened to him and why he died, what he did before it. And the Meister tells him about a book he was looking at. Now, this book, it basically has all of the lineages in the kingdom. All the people that were kings before and after. And, well, Jon Arryn was looking through it. He didn't tell anybody why he was, but Ned, well, he's trying to figure that out for himself. Why did he die? And what was he doing looking in this book? So many questions, so little time. Now, the Meister can't really explain to him anything, and he just ends up talking about a bunch of fucking nothing, yapping about eunuchs, which are people that don't have penises. I think I said that earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate the fact that, well, Lord Varys doesn't have a pee-pee. How does he use the bathroom? Or wait, actually, maybe they have pee-pees, they don't have nuts. They get castrated? I don't 100% know. But what I do know is that there's something missing down there in their pants. Ned wants Arya to be a little pretty princess and have kids and that run around castles and shit. He says that's what's going to happen one day. And, well, maybe if George R.R. Martin will finish his fucking books, we'd see it. Anyways, back at the wall, Jon and Sam have a conversation. Well, Jon realizes that Sam isn't good at anything. He's afraid. He doesn't really walk that fast. He sits down to pee because it's easier for him. And, well, he also is a bitch. We find out Sam's story that his dad doesn't really like him, and basically the reason he came here is because, well, his dad said that one day you're gonna have an accident. And I'm gonna tell your mom that you just fell off your horse and died. He basically was telling him, hey, bitch, if you don't leave, I'm gonna kill you. What a wonderful fucking life. Anyways, Ned talks to Lord Baelish about everything that happens, and for some reason, Ned thinks that it's wise to trust the guy that's been wanting to fuck his wife. I honestly don't understand what mindset Ned had in this moment, but, well, he had it. Anyways, he tells Ned to send someone he trusts to go talk to an armorer, someone that Jon Arryn had been seen with multiple times before he, kaputs. Now, there's a guy there, Gendry, and Jon Arryn was coming there to see Gendry. Now, Ned asked him, what was Jon Arryn asking him about? He said he asked about his work and he asked about his mom. And, well, his mom died when he was little, but she used to sing to him sometimes. Now, we find out here, as Ned looks at him in his eyes, that this boy Gendry is Robert's bastard son. It's all starting to come together now. Jon Arryn was investigating the lineage of Joffrey. Yes, that is the twist. We're going to find out very soon that Joffrey is not the true heir. And that's why Jon Arryn got killed. He probably wouldn't even have cared that much, and Joffrey wasn't gonna complete fucking asshole, but he probably is such a shitty little person that, Jon Arryn, he was trying to figure out any way to possibly make it so this dude Joffrey could never run a kingdom, because he would be a terrible king. Oh yeah, also, Robert is in there having sex with a bunch of women right beside Jaime. Yep, he's completely insulting Jaime's sister, who was also his lover, so I don't even know why Jaime's mad. Like, Robert doing this, who cares, nigga? More sex for you. Jon's been protecting Sam, by the way. He, he pulled up on all the guys that are being shitty to him and said, no one touches Sam. But Jon, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You dick eating a little bit, bro. Like, you gotta let Sam fight his own battles. The next day, bro, nobody would even fight Sam, bro. They telling him, hit me, hit me. This man got hit a little tiny bit, fell on the floor screaming. Oh, y'all are out there with wildlings and white walkers and motherfucking all types of shit surrounding your horses. Niggas with big ass guns and switches. Do you want a man or a sniveling boy?
I want a man beside me, cuz.
But fuck all this wall shit. Let's go look at the Khalasar, see what they're doing. Oh my God. Why is Daenerys' brother carrying a prostitute by her hair like this? All right, I ain't gonna lie. She's not really a prostitute, bro. I gotta stop calling these women prostitutes, but it's so many prostitutes in Game of Thrones that I be forgetting that not all of them are, bro. Like, it's just literally crazy. But I think this is just one of the people that be with Daenerys and shit. Now, he starts crashing out, and she's like, look at all these gifts that I've been giving and stuff. Like, relax. And this nigga gets mad because she's trying to give him stuff and slaps her, bro. Literally slaps her. Like, he's in there upset because I guess he feels like she's trying to make him one of them. Like, bro, all of those people are way cooler than you. I would be grateful to become one of them. You're literally a bitch. But Daenerys had enough, and she actually stood up for herself. She cut his face with, what is that? Is that a belt? I don't even know what that is, bro. I'm gonna keep it a band. She cut that nigga face with it, though, and told him if he ever put his hands on her again, well, that's gonna be the last time he has hands. Bet he rethinks his moves now. Piece of shit. Sam and Jon are in there fooling around. As Sam's making fun of Jon like he's a virgin, like he ain't nowhere to put no dick in no pussy or something. Now, you know the guy that's been hating on Jon? Well, he came in there and told him a story about the last winter where he went beyond the wall for 6 months. That was supposed to be a 2-month mission. He tells him that the horses died eventually and they lost fingers to frostbite, and they eventually started eating the weaker ones. He says that Sam would have lasted him a fortnight. And then I started thinking, yo, niggas got Fortnite in Game of Thrones? They going crazy. I wonder if he got a PS5. Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter is he says that the Lord Commander is going to be giving out people's rankings and their job duty soon. Back at King's Landing, it's finally time. Time for the festivities. Yep, we're about to see Lancers fight. This is called jousting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen people joust before, but they ride on horses with these spears and they try to knock each other off. And then if they do, they can then ask for armed combat to decide a winner. But a lot of people don't pick the armed combat because it's to the death. So, you know, hey man, I already fell off my horse. I probably have a concussion. Look at the first guy that fell. His fucking spear broke and it stuck through his neck. This nigga literally died. Yeah, he died. First joust match someone did. Sickening. Lord Baelish is telling Sansa the story about the Hound, talking about Gregor is a few years older than the Hound and he had a talent for violence. And one day, well, the Hound was playing one of Gregor's toy by the fire, and then he grabbed his face and he shoved it into the fire, and he watched why his fucking face melted, bro. Now, me personally, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, the Hound could have burnt his face in multiple ways. Bad sunburn, whipping up that Yola, I don't know. Cersei went to go talk to Ned. She asked her about Sansa. Sansa likes it here. For now. She tries to do one of these manipulation tactics on Ned, like come in there acting like she all innocent and shit. Ain't nobody trying to listen to that shit, Cersei. And Ned told her straight up, I was trained to kill my enemy. And Cersei replied, so was I. It's a really cool moment here. Cersei's terrible, but she's a really, really good character. Anyways, there's like a tavern that Tyrion ends up passing through, and he finds this guy here. Now in this tavern, Tyrion pays this guy right here. He's going to be important. Not right now, but we'll just wait on it. But, well, Cat is here. And also a bunch of different men from different houses are also there. She goes through each sigil and talks to them about their lords, and then Tyrion is like, what the fuck is going on? She then advises all of them, and the name of King Robert in their houses to help her seize Tyrion for trying to kill her 10-year-old son. And as you can see, they were about that action. Literally all of them pulled their swords out on this nigga with no hesitation. Ew, yo, pulled their swords out with no hesitation. All right, I can't lie, that was a little freaky. I did not mean for it to sound that way, but that's besides the point. What y'all do need to know is that Tyrion has been seized. Yep. He has been captured. And this is going to start, well, what is pretty much the rising action for the rest of the season. We are on episode 5 now. Ned goes to see the guy that got killed. I don't really understand what the point of sewing this dude's neck up is. I mean, the nigga is already dead. So, just let him be dead? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make him look decent for a funeral or something. Now, Ned talks to Sir Barristan, who is one of the strongest and most skilled fighters in all of the 7 kingdoms, by the way. You're going to see him do some superhuman shit later on. Just wait on it. Anyways, after their conversation, he goes to go talk to Robert. And, well, Robert finds out that he can't put armor on because he's fucking fat. They laugh about it, though, because, I mean, even though he's out of shape and he's the king, you can't hide your flaws from your niggas. In the next jousting match, we see this pretty boy here, who Renly, for some reason, seems to be tipping his head to. Huh, I wonder why. He gives Sansa a rose, though, so, you know, I'm thinking like, all right, you know, he got the sweets for Sansa, maybe. Anyways, Renly and Baelish end up putting a bet on this fight. Let's just see what happens. They call Sir Gregor the Mountain, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. This nigga is huge. I think it's like some bodybuilder that plays him, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember his name, but I seen him on YouTube and shit. Anyways, this pretty boy we find out's name is Sir Loras. Now, he's knocked this big ass nigga the Mountain off of his horse. And the Mountain, well, he's mad about about it. So he murdered his horse, bro. He literally murdered his horse and then started fighting Sir Loras. So the hound comes and he ends up parrying him. At this point, they start fighting each other. Now, obviously, you know, King Robert, he stops this. Yo, look how smooth the hound ducked this sword swing right here to bow to King Robert. That's crazy. Everybody cheers for him as well because he saved Sir Loras. But anyways, back to Cat and Tyrion. It seems that they're on the way to the Vale. That's where Cat's sister is. They're gonna, I guess, put a trial together for Tyrion. But honestly, back then, shit was weird. I mean, if I was them, I would just kill Tyrion. But I guess they're trying to be honorable about it. Now, Tyrion doesn't want to go to the Vale because her sister, well, she's insane. Isn't the same as she used to be. Now, while all this is happening, they end up getting attacked by a bunch of different people. And now, at the time, I didn't know who sent these people, but, well, they punished them. Even Cat even untied Tyrion, and he got to kill him with a shield. It's kind of cool, though. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know this man Tyrion could fight. Bran's back at Winterfell trying to learn, because, I mean, what else is he gonna do? He literally is, well, he's handicapped. Theon is talking to a prostitute in the brothel, you know, that same redhead. Doesn't really matter. Honestly, none of this matters, but I just wanted to tell you what was going on. Lord Varys comes to talk to Ned in King's Landing, and, well, he tells him that, well, Robert's in trouble. He's also a fool. He didn't trust Ned at first, but now we can tell after a month that, well, Ned is an honorable man. Now, Varys says that his squire, Sir Hugh, is the one that poisoned him, but Ned needs to know who paid him. He asks Varys why'd they kill him, and, well, Varys says he started asking questions. Arya is also running around the castle, and she ends up seeing a giant dragon skull. While Arya is here, she's hiding in the dragon skull, and she sees them having a conversation. Now, Varys, well, it seems like he's being shisty. He's telling someone about what Ned's doing and how he found the bastard. He also is talking to him about needing time because, well, Ned, he's not Jon Arryn. Nigga not gonna die so easily. Arya overhears this, but I don't really know if she understands what this information means. They also discuss Khal Drogo not leaving until his son is born and how, and I guess it seems they know about Daenerys and what's going on across the Narrow Sea. Varys goes to talk to Baelish after this as well. Varys tells Baelish that, well, he saw him talking to the Hand of the King. He says that if the Lannisters find out that he helped Ned, that, well, it'd be a problem for him. It's kind of crazy how all these people are making all these moves together. They have no idea what's happening right now. Well, at least Ned doesn't. These niggas are terrible, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. Anyways, Renly ends up coming in and they're going to have another small council meeting. This one, the Robert's going to. Disturbing news from far away. This is the news about Daenerys and them making a move. Robert already kind of knew about this though, and he knew that war was coming. It's crazy how he has a knack for knowing about war. Of all the things that he's not good at, fighting in a war is definitely one of them. Now, Yoren from the Wall comes. He rides for Benjen, you know, because they're brothers in black. He's trying to tell Ned what happened. And, well, he then gets the information. Your wife, my lord, she's taken the imp. Now, once everybody knows this shit's gonna hit the fan, Ned's trying to get, people are conspiring to kill Ned, the imp got taken, and now they're at the Vale. Now, he goes to a council meeting and Robert is talking about Daenerys. The whore is pregnant. I want them dead. The mother and child. I want them both dead. Man, will you calm down? You need to sit the fuck down to eat something. You're not yourself when you're hungry, man. What, you need a Snickers or something? I could go for a Snickers, huh? It'd be good right now. A cup of cocoa with it. Some wine. Well, that's fat as shit, man. You need a Popeyes in the kingdom. Now, the Robert is scared because of the Dothraki. You know, if they have a son that's a Targaryen and Dothraki, he's gonna lead the army and come over there and fucking murder everyone. Now, they all basically are agreeing that they should just kill Daenerys. Now, this man Ned doesn't want any part of it, so he throws his hand down and says he's not doing it anymore. But Lord Baelish comes to see him and says that if he's still there before nightfall, he'll take him to see the last person Jon Arryn saw before he died. This is bad. Said it won't take more than an hour, but, well, Ned had the right idea. Get the fuck out of the kingdom. Too late now. You know this isn't gonna go well. Anyways, at the Vale, we see Cat's sister. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, she's got this kid here sucking on her titty, and he looks like he's 8 years old. Now, she seems to think that because he's a Lannister, he's the one that killed her husband. And, well, her son wants to see him fly. They take him to this jail that's like, literally in the middle of the air. I've never seen no shit like this, bro. This is some impelled down level shit, bro. Like, what is this? They got this nigga in a sky jail, bro. The cell is like in the middle of the air, and there's nothing but death underneath you. He tried to pay the guard off, but, you know, obviously that's not gonna work because, well, he doesn't have any fucking money. Oh yeah, we also find out that Renly is fucking Sir Loras, but I mean, that was obvious. You seen the way he looked at him? Got this man Sir Loras shaving his chest. What a freaky man. Bro, freaky as shit. Sir Loras is saying that Renly should be king because he'd be a good king, and Sir Loras could fight for him because Renly clearly can't fight. This nigga's a bitch. He also gets some head from him. So, yeah, there's that. Cersei and Robert end up having a conversation after this. They talk about Lyanna Stark, and Robert admits to Cersei that he never loved her. This is probably what leads to later events. Cersei was probably talking to him to figure out if maybe there's some heart there, some sort of love. Now, Ned ends up finding this prostitute and basically finds out that, well, Robert has another literal bastard that's also in love with Robert. Kind of crazy. Anyways, once Ned leaves, Jaime has found out that Tyrion has got taken. Oh, well, this isn't good. Jaime Lannister versus Ned Stark. We're about to see some real shit go on. Don't worry, though, it's nothing special. This moment is not going to lead to nothing good. Now, they end up killing basically all of Ned's men at this point, but Ned's right hand, he's going crazy, except for Jaime stabbed him in his head with a knife. You know what time it is now. Jaime versus Ned. Let's see who the real winner is. I'm not gonna lie, these niggas is both nice, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Now, it seemed that Ned might have had this dude Jaime on the back foot a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So his man ended up stabbing him in the leg with a spear. Obviously, they ride off at this point, but things are bad. My nigga Ned's probably gonna have a limp for the rest of his life. And Jaime, well, he had a dishonorable duel. Dishonorable discharge. All right, my fault. But that ends episode 5.
Yo, they really got my man Ned laid up sweating.
Yo, that's a scary sight, bro. Imagine you sweating, you going crazy. I don't know the words to Meg Thee Stallion songs. Right?
That's a scary ass sight. Yo, imagine you wake up, you see this big sweaty dude over you. You going through enough. Fever, got stabbed in your leg. They don't even got antibiotics back then, bro. His motherfucking leg is probably infected right now.
Now, Cersei is in here with him as well, but she's mainly just here because, well, her little brother got taken. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be fighting so hard for Tyrion if I was her, and obviously I said as her because she really doesn't even care about him. Like, that's being real. Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter is that Cersei is in here tweaking. Bro, she yelling at this dude Robert Baratheon like he's a bitch. But what is important is the fact that Cersei was in there talking crazy to Robert Baratheon. I mean, talking to this nigga like he was a hoe.
I thought you wore the pants. I should wear the armor, you the gown.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Oh my God. I'll wear this with honor. Now wear that badge of silence before I honor you again, cuz. Got me fucked up, man, out here talking like you really like that, man. Stop playing with me, cuz.
Now, Robert is about to go on a hunt, which, you know, slapped his wife, about to go on a hunt. Obviously, things are gonna go swell. Anyways, he tells his man Ned to wear this damn Hand of the King badge, and if he takes it off, he's gonna put it on Jaime Lannister. He also tells him he doesn't want to hear anything else about the Targaryen girl, which is crazy because, I mean, you know, this dude Ned, he literally has been going through it. Bro got stabbed in his leg. He has everyone trying to kill this woman and her unborn child, stressing about the kingdom, you know, being overcrowded, people spending too much money, and he clearly has Cersei plotting to kill him. Anyways, my man Bran got woken up by Hodor, and, well, his saddle is done. Yay! My man got a saddle. He about to ride some horses, and the wildlings are attacking him.
Man, get off the horse.
I can't. The straps, the saddle.
Man, fuck you disabled or something? I'm fucking a cripple.
I am Brandon Stark of Winterfell, and if you don't give me this... Wait a minute. Put me down. Why are you holding me like that?
Shut your bitch ass up and get off the horse. Oh man, I'm gonna cut this nigga leg.
It's okay, I can't feel anything. Now at this point, I thought my man Brandon was done for. But Rob shows up. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, he started getting busy with the sword. Smoked the ass. But this one dude grabbed my man Bran up. But luckily, Theon was there and he shot him in the back with an arrow. How did Rob get mad at Theon for saving Bran? What kind of dumbass shit is that? Anyways, there's this wildling girl here who has given her life to the Starks. She's basically just being like, hey, I'll be a slave, but don't kill me. I don't blame her because that shit's scary as hell. Anyways, my man Tyrion is back in the Sky Jail, like he's in the middle of Impel Down or some shit. Bro on Skypiea right now. Now he's trying to talk to the guard, you know, give him some bread. And obviously, he don't have no gold. Nigga, you broke. So the guard, he ain't really trying to hear that shit. How you talking about you gonna give me some paper and you ain't got no paper? Now, you know what they say, man. You know, Lannister always pay his debt. I don't know if people actually say that or if that's just the thing Tyrion says the Lannisters do and say, but whatever. Either way, I digress. Arya's back fighting with this guy, Syrio Forel, and, well, fake-ass Mihawk is teaching her lessons about the god of death.
There's only one god, it's death, and we tell him, not today.
Yeah, whatever, man. I don't care about you or your fake-ass choreography swordplay, but whatever. We're gonna just move on. Now, Daenerys is eating What the fuck is this? What is she eating right now? Is this a heart? Now she's doing this tradition because the baby in her stomach is a boy, and he's going to become the Call of Cause to create and rule over one Khalasar, which is actually like a really big deal. At the time I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. I was also making fun of the fact that she almost vomited and then she ate it. But, I also was making fun of her because she almost threw up and then ate it. But that's besides the point. But the thing that is most important about all of this is the fact that her brother sees this moment and realizes that all of these people love her and her baby Rhaego. Yep, she's naming her baby Rhaego, which I honestly have no idea where she got that name from, but what the hell does that even mean? Sounds like somebody from Lego Ninjago or something. You know what? Whatever. So this man leaves and he tries to go steal a dragon egg so he can buy a ship and a big army, but Jorah Mormont walks in the tent and stops him. Yeah, the guy that he literally gave and swore an oath to, he's sitting here being disloyal to him. This isn't going to be the last time Jorah does something disloyal in the series. Just wait on it. But it's the first time we've seen him do it. This nigga ain't shit. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Bro leaves the eggs because obviously Jorah's not going to let him leave with them, and just like that, we're back to Tyrion. Yeah, so he did talk to the guard and he convinced them that he was going to give him some money at some point to deliver a message. He wants to tell the Lady of the Vale, he wants to confess his crimes. When I was 7, I saw this little girl, you know what I'm saying? She was all naked and shit. If I can close my eyes, son, I can still see her tits bouncing and shit, you know what I'm saying? I know it was wrong and all that, son. I put my head in her titties and shit. I took my face in her titties, son. I blamed it on the servant boy. There's this one time, son, I had some codeine. Stop! You've had your fun. You're accused of trying to kill my 10-year-old son and John Aaron. Well, Sean, honestly, I didn't do none of that shit, Sean. But honestly, y'all just gonna put me back in a fucking cell? It's some bullshit. Like, where the justice at? Now, at this point, they're gonna make Tyrion go through the moon door. But he asked for a trial by combat, in which he was trying to basically get someone to fight for him and basically defend his honor. He was going to get his brother Jaime Lannister to do it, but obviously he's hundreds of miles away. So instead, he has to get a volunteer. It's kind of crazy that they won't let him choose a combat champion that's far away. Like, you had me in a cell for days anyway, just let me go back in there and wait till my brother gets here. Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter, but instead of Jaime, my man Tyrion gets Bran. Yep, my man Bran steps up, who is somebody you probably don't realize, but this nigga has hands. Incredible hands, by the way. He's gonna make this guy look like a fool very soon, but don't worry about it. Sir Vardis is gonna have a really good last fight. Anyways, Robert Baratheon is still hunting, and in the meantime, we have the Hand of the King. Yep, my man Ned. Now, at this point, people came to him about Sir Gregor Lorraine. I'm gonna be honest, bro, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Sir Gregor is the Mountain, that big ass dude that cut the horse's head off with one swing. So Ned, he denounces him all his titles, takes his land away, says he's an enemy of the crown, and also says that Tywin has to come all the way from Castle Rock to the kingdom to answer his crimes. And if he doesn't, well, he also is going to be an enemy of the crown. We're going to see how well this is going to work out for Ned. Jesus Christ. Anyways, back at the Vale, it's time for Bran to fight. And I'm going to be honest, I told you, he's gonna make this dude look really bad, because he's trying to fight him in all this big ass armor and a shield. And Bran, well, he's just faster. Weave. Yo, look how nice this nigga is. Until he was at the edge of this moon door, and then I realized that, oh my god, Bran might die. Don't worry about it. He's just tiring the night out. You see, he's in this big clunky armor, so he's obviously gonna be out of breath very soon, and oh, it's gonna be hard for him to move. Sliced his leg, sliced his other leg, hit this nigga with a sweep kick, and just like that, it's pretty much over at this point. Stabbed this nigga in the artery, and well, he's dead now. Yo, did he really have to drop this nigga down the moon door? That's kind of crazy. You don't fight with honor. Nope, but he did. Nigga dead now, cuz. Now, my man Tyrion collects his little pouch of coins, gives it to the fat ass nigga Mord, and he's on his way. Guess the little man isn't gonna go through the moon door after all. Sansa talks to the Scepter after this, but well, she's a bitch, so I don't really want to talk about it too much. I mean, I honestly would have skipped over this part if it wasn't for Joffrey showing up. I'm sorry, I've been a bad person this past few weeks, with your permission. Bro, this man Joffrey is probably the ugliest nigga in this show to me. Like, and the Hound exists, but like, he just looks, he's just ugly as fuck, bro. Like, I really can't explain why, but he is though. This nigga over here manipulating Sansa, talk about you're my lady now until this day, until the last of days. Like, bitch, I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. You're weird as shit. Anyways, his emotional manipulation doesn't matter. What does matter is Ned is talking to Sansa and Arya, and he wants both of them to go back to Winterfell. And then it dawns on him. Sansa says something that makes a lot of sense. Joffrey doesn't seem
like a Baratheon. He seems more like a Lannister. So then he sends him out of the room. He looks in the book, starts naming off all of the past people, you know, the Baratheons. Joseph Baratheon, black of hair. Russell Baratheon, I don't know the names, whatever, it doesn't matter. Then he gets to Robert Baratheon, black of hair. But then he goes to Joffrey Baratheon, golden hair. Why does he have golden hair? Anyways, back at Daenerys' camp, seems that Viserys is fucking tweaking. He wants a golden crown. That's exactly what he's gonna get. After he insults Daenerys and threatens to murder her unborn child, well, that's what Khal Drogo gives him. A golden crown that men would see and tremble. This nigga literally melted gold down and poured it on this nigga head. Yeah, that's right. He poured it on this nigga head and murdered him. On episode 7, we start our episode off with Tywin and Jaime Lannister. And we see Tywin tearing and shearing what seems to be a stag. Foreshadowing. Anyways, Jaime is talking to his father about how his brother got kidnapped and he wants to get him back. Obviously, Tywin thinks that he's being a little silly about it. Now, Tywin is trying to explain to him that he's going about this a little silly. I mean, obviously, a Lannister always pays his debts. I remember earlier I said, is that something that only Tyrion says? But now I can see that he gets it from his father, which lets you know that Tyrion, even though he has some sort of disdain for his father, obviously looks up to him and listens to the things he says. Anyways, he gave Jaime 30,000 men to go get Tyrion and to teach Catelyn a lesson. Now, obviously, you know, lions can't be trifled with the opinions of sheep, but Tywin explains to Jaime that, nigga, this is a fact. If they hold somebody from the Lannisters with impunity, nigga, we're hoes. We're no longer a house to be feared, but a house to be laughed at, a house to be bitched. And that can't slide. I need you to be the man that you were supposed to be. Not tomorrow, but today. Now Ned goes to talk to Cersei about the fact that he knows that, well, Joffrey is not a Baratheon, but a Lannister. And this doesn't sit well with her. Obviously, she fucking hates it. She explains to Ned that, well, you can't tell Robert, but you probably should have took the Iron Throne for yourself. Obviously, Ned didn't want it. Cersei tells him that he probably should have took the Iron Throne himself. But Ned explains that of all the things he's mistakenly done in life, doing that, not taking the throne, wasn't one of them. But unfortunately, in Game of Thrones, you ever played the Game of Thrones, or you die. There is no middle ground. We learn about Lord Baelish and the fact that him and Catelyn Stark used to have a little thing. I guess she was fucking on him or something. Eventually, he tried to fight who was supposed to be her lover and ended up getting his ass beat. He ended up dying in a war, and we find out that she was supposed to be wed to Ned's brother, but then she married him, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but I mean, I guess that's just how it worked back then. Anyways, none of that truly matters. Lord Baelish is kind of salty. Honestly, that's all you need to take from that moment. Also, the little servant, well, the servant is talking to Theon, and Theon's making her call him my lord, my lord. Like, Theon, you ain't no damn lord, nigga. You a fucking captive. You got taken like Liam Neeson. All right, I'm just saying. Back at the wall, Uncle Benjen's horses returned. Oh yeah, Uncle Benjen. Oh no, it's just the horse. Well, Uncle Benjen's probably dead. Hate to see it. Back at the castle though, as Jon Snow is over there panicking, we find out that something happened to Robert during the hunt. Remember, I told you he just smacked Cersei and then he went on a hunt afterwards. Something bad probably was going to happen. Now, Robert is dying, obviously, from getting hit by a boar. Yep, he was hunting, and, well, he was trying to kill a boar barehanded, I guess, or with a spear or something. Why are you fighting a boar by yourself when you have a whole team of men? Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter is Robert sends everyone out of the room, and he basically makes Ned the new Lord Regent to rule in his stead until Joffrey becomes of age. Now, Ned writes down rightful heir instead of Joffrey because we know that, well, Joffrey is not the rightful heir. None of that matters. Well, what does matters most is that my man Ned is trying to get Daenerys to not be killed. Now, unfortunately, Lord Varys says that, well, those birds have already flied and Daenerys might already be dead. What? Daenerys is actually there talking to Khal Drogo. Now, Daenerys is braiding his hair and telling him about the narrow sea and that there are wooden horses that you can ride across the sea to get to lands unknown. But basically, you know, those are ships. Like, nigga, you can get on a ship and ride the ship over there. It's what you should be doing anyway, but, you know, unfortunately, not everything goes the way that we want. Now, while they are traveling about, a little boy comes running over and gives Jorah Mormont a piece of paper. Apparently, he's got a royal pardon, so he can go home.
I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know why he would want to go home at this point. And shit, that could just be fake or some sort of setup. Imagine he goes all the way home and someone smokes him as soon as he gets on his land. And someone kills him on his land. You know, his land that might have slaves on it, because he was a slaver at one point. But anyways, that's beside the point. Anyways, they're traveling, and this guy has this very, very special Dornish wine. Now, at this point, they realize that this person having this wine is a little suspicious. We might have a traitor among us. You know, like the game. All right, my fault. Anyways, Jorah makes him drink the wine first, and obviously he doesn't. He tries to throw the wine and run away. Now, nigga, obviously none of us believed that this wine was safe. We're not idiots. They're probably gonna kill that guy, but you know, what do I know? They put Viserys' head in a crown of melting gold. Maybe they're gonna turn that dude into a diamond. You know, pressure makes diamonds. Hey, yo. Anyways, at the wall, we find out that everyone is gonna get their ranks. People are gonna go take their vows. Now the Lord Regent is... Now Jon is pretty upset because he wanted to be a ranger, but he has to be a steward. But it's a steward for Lord Regent, for the commander. He's grooming him for command. I don't like the way Samwell said groom though. Like, is he Diddy? Like, all right, my fault. Anyways, Jon's gonna stay because Sam said that even though Jon always wanted to be a ranger, well, it doesn't matter, because Sam always wanted to be a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Anyways, back at the wall, Renly has, he's approached Ned, and he says that he should be the rightful king, not Stannis Baratheon, who was a very, very accomplished war commander. He destroyed the Greyjoy fleet. He's also led men into war twice. Now, Renly says and brings up a good point that, well, do you think that soldiers make good kings? Because Robert was a really good soldier. That nigga is a terrible person. Now, Ned has called Lord Baelish in, obviously after telling Renly that he's not going to murder all of Baratheon's, well, not real children. Then they have a conversation about who the Gold Cloaks are going to protect when shit hits the fan. And it's always the man that pays them. Now, I don't know why Ned would actually go to Lord Baelish and ask for help, the man that has wanted his wife this entire time. I really don't understand it. I mean, Ned, are you fucking stupid? Have to be. I don't know, but that doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is the truth hurts. And the truth in the matter is, Lord Baelish is a liar. Anyways, Jon and Sam, they go do their oath. And now they're men of the Night's Watch, I guess. Now, back at the Khalasar, we get one of the coldest, and I mean coldest monologues in the season thus far. Bro, this nigga is talking crazy. Khal Drogo is mad because obviously Daenerys almost got hurt. So he vows that he will take her son and he will go across the narrow sea, the black salt water, and give his son the 7 kingdoms. That he will give his daughter, that he will give his girl, Daenerys, and his son the chair that Daenerys' father sat on before. This nigga is talking crazy right now. Anyways, we're back at the kingdom. And, well, here comes Joffrey sitting in a fucking chair he's not supposed to be in. Now, at this point, for the third and probably final time in all of Game of Thrones, Ned is fucked. He goes in here and, well, he shows the paper to Lord Barristan, who reads it. And then Cersei rips it in half. She says that this paper isn't going to protect him, that it means nothing. Joffrey is the new king. And that's who we're going to listen to. She tells Ned to bend the knee, and obviously he's not going to because he thinks he has the Gold Cloaks with him. But he doesn't. They betray him, and they smoke Ned's remaining men. They've already smoked them the last time with Jaime. Now they smoked them again. This man, Lord Baelish, grabs him up with a knife and tells him straight up, I told you not to trust me. What a fucking idiot. Obviously, Ned getting betrayed like this is not a good thing, but what are his daughters doing while this is happening? Well, they're supposed to be packing to leave, but unfortunately, Arya decided she wanted to go to Studio Pharrell once again. Well, I guess it's not really that bad for her though, because I mean, at this point, all of the soldiers in the kingdom have decided to run around and start smoking shit. They grab Sansa from the Sept. Now, obviously, Arya's with Syrio, which, isn't a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. I mean, obviously, they should be packing so they can get the fuck out of here. But it's a good thing in hindsight, though, because, well, he protected her. For some reason, they thought that maybe they should send Lannister guys to go get Arya. What kind of dumbass shit is that? Why do you think that Arya would leave with Lannisters? My dad wouldn't send you guys here. What the fuck? Man, shut your little ass up.
Hey, hold on now, cuz. If she don't want to leave with you, she don't have to.
Man, shut your little ass up. Both of y'all little. Fuck y'all some dwarfs or something?
And I'm Serial Pharrell, cuz. On East Side Crip. Fuck is you talking about, cuz?
Oh, this nigga think he rolling 60s. And just like that, my man Serial put in work with a wooden sword. I'm not gonna lie, he was actually doing damage. I mean, besides the fact that, he did get smoked, maybe. I really don't know though, because he fought the last guy and his sword got cut in half, but he did say, man, you tell the guy to death, not today. So maybe Serial Pharrell survived. I doubt it. He was in a room surrounded by a bunch of niggas with a broken sword. Hey, who knows? Anyways, Varys went to go see Ned as well. He's in a cell right now. At least they didn't kill him right away. Foreshadowing. But Varys went to go give him some water. You know, make sure he doesn't die in there of dehydration, which I don't really understand the whole point of that. But you know, whatever. Ned explains to Varys that the reason why he admitted to Cersei about the fact that he knew about Joffrey is because he was hoping that she would spare her children. Anyways, at the wall, they ended up finding some of the men, the Rangers that were missing, but not Uncle Benjen. Also, the Lord Commander says that he has word and that Jon's father got charged with treason. Obviously, Jon is pissed and he's like, fuck that. I'm about to forsake my oath and I'm gonna go save my motherfucking dad right now, cuz. Now, Jon is also thinking about his sisters, which, I mean, obviously, I would also be thinking about them. But Jon be pissing me off because it's like, bro, if you gonna do something, do it. First time you heard about something happening, you was about to leave, didn't leave. Second time you heard about something happening, this is way more serious. Again, you choose not to leave. And it's like, bro, you might say, oh, I respect Jon for sticking to his oath. But at the time, bro, fuck that oath, bro. I would've broke that shit. Saved my people. They could've killed me after. Anyways, back at the capital, they're trying to straight up manipulate Sansa. Make her believe that her father is a bad person and get her to trick Robb into coming to King's Landing to swear fealty to Joffrey. Now, he reads his letter, but the Sept in the North is basically explaining to him that those are the Queen's words, not his. And because of this, Robb's like, fuck that, go get the bannermen. I'm about to get everybody together and we riding over to King's Landing. He want me to swear fealty to him. All right, cool. I'm gonna go over there and smoke shit. So basically, Robb is prepared to declare war against the crown. And honestly, I don't blame him, because if I was him, there's no way in the world I'm letting them charge my father with treason, put him in a cell, take my sisters. Man, fuck that. And that's why I always respect Robb a little bit more than Jon. I mean, by the end of the story, Jon wins me over. He is top 3 favorite characters in the show for me, but it takes a long time for that to happen, and definitely not a season 1. Like, I was not messing with Jon in season 1. I'm gonna keep it a band. Kat also asked her sister to help by bringing some of the men from the Vale to fight, but she refuses. Said that they killed her husband and that they pushed Kat's son out of a window, that they'll do anything. And I mean, I can't really blame her. They will do anything. But that's why Kat feels like they need to stop them, which is also a valid take. But I don't know. I'm indifferent about this. It's like, yeah, you should help. That is your brother-in-law. This is your sister. And, you know, obviously, y'all stopping these motherfuckers, the Lannisters being the motherfuckers in question, would probably help the world. But instead of doing that, she decided to not send men from the Vale. She basically said, fuck Ned, which is crazy. But, you know, I mean, each their own, I guess. Speaking of the Vale, Tyrion has promised it to these, the fuck are these, mongrels or what? They're not wildlings, I don't, Vikings or some shit. Anyways, the people of the Hill tribe who aren't really seen from the crown as anybody important or anyone with titles or land, but Tyrion has promised to give them that if they decide not to kill him. Tyrion always finding a way to squirm out of that little hole. Now at the wall, something is going on. Jon's asleep, but his wolf started tweaking and it ran to the commander's room. Now, you remember those people that they had brought back from out there, the Rangers that were missing? Well, it seems that they had become undead, what we call White Walkers. And that's exactly what happened. The wolf sensed this, and, well, Jon is now fighting a fucking White Walker who grabbed him up by the throat. What is this dude, the Undertaker? Anyways, Jon is fighting him, and he realizes in this moment that the Lord Commander is in trouble. So he throws fire at it, which, I mean, obviously is a good idea, because they usually use fire to burn the bodies after they die. So the fire is probably what their weakness is. These White Walkers have a lot of different weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? They have fire, Valyrian steel, and I believe dragon glass. So either one of those things can hurt them. Keep that in mind. It's important, and you know, it'll lead to things in the future. Anyways, this episode is really fire though, one of my favorites, not because of anything that's happened so far, but because the fact that my man Khal Drogo is about to fight. See, Daenerys wants them to stop raping women, which I think is a good idea. Raping women is bad. Raping anyone is bad. But unfortunately, the people, the Dothraki, don't believe this. They believe that, well, if they conquer, that the women are to do with what they please. Daenerys does not agree with this. And because of this, one of the people spits at her and says she's a foreigner who doesn't command her. Well, she's the Khaleesi and she feels otherwise. Unfortunately, though, this insults the call. And he fights this nigga and decides to not use weapons. Bro went straight barehanded on this nigga, bro. Used his own weapon to slice his throat and then pulled his tongue out through his neck. But he has a wound that Daenerys wants cleaned, and this random ass witch bitch decides that she's gonna do it. Now, her cleaning this wound is not a great thing, and for multiple reasons. Why would you trust her and you literally just took everything from her? Her people, You fucking raped and pillaged everybody. You murdered everyone else. Like, why would you let this person of all people clean your wound? You know what? I digress. Anyways, but before that, he had to talk to the bannermen. One of them were, well, being a little difficult. So Robb sent his wolf to bite his fucking hand. The wolf bit 2 of his fingers off and he just started laughing about it. Apparently, he just wanted to see if Robb was a pussy or tough enough. And well, I guess he is tough enough. I'm going to take it from the fact that he was laughing like this, meaning that he's going to support Robb now. Anyways, despite all of that, Robb left and he had to say bye to Bran, who was now praying every day and who has now seemed to be making some sort of relationship with that servant Shorty. You know, the one that Theon was trying to make call him Lord. What a weirdo. Anyways, Robb is talking with his bannermen about war. They're on the battlefield and his mom shows up, which is obviously a welcome sight. I mean, Robb is a man at this point, but he's still a boy really. So seeing his mom is probably good for his morale. Now Catelyn explains to Robb that, well, the only chance they have is to win on the battlefield. And if he dies on the battlefield, and that if he dies on the battlefield and they lose, that all of them will die. This sparks something in Robb. I see a twinkle in his eye. He might actually do it. Foreshadowing. Tyrion ends up showing up to Tywin with the Hills Tribe people, the people that he has promised the land of the Vale to. Yo, Dad, this is Shaka, chief of the Stoneclaws. This is Shella, daughter of Shek, leader of the Black Ears, son, and this is Bran, son of I don't know, son. This motherfucker don't got no dad. That's important. This is Tywin, Lord of Castle Rock and all that. My dad and shit. Yo, dad, son, I made promises to my friends, you know what I'm saying? Son of Bran, I owe this nigga a lot of money, son, and these niggas want some land. Bran also wants some land and some horse. You know what I'm saying? So if you can just get that together, Dad, I'll appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Man, shut your bitch ass. Hey, hold on. Yo, what's up with this nigga right here, man? I feel like a Viking or something. Now, Tywin, he's saying, you know, I'll pay these debts, but nigga, I need y'all to fight with us. Now, my man Robb in this next scene trying to play the strategic route, you feel me? See, one of these little scouts came from the Lannister camp. They caught him, obviously. But Robb, he ends up letting him go to tell Tywin that 20,000 Northerners are marching on him in the south. This is a strategic play. One of his bannermen called him a boy and he almost slaps the shit out of him for it. Bro said, call me a boy again, nigga. I'm gonna be honest, he did not call him a boy. Now, at the end of the episode, it seems like Cersei and Joffrey have some business to attend to. They tell Barristan that his work is no longer needed, and they give his job to Jaime Lannister, a guy who literally killed the king that he was sworn to protect. Wow. Anyways, obviously Barristan Selmy could have killed all of these guards right here, but unfortunately, he decided to put his sword down and leave. He did tell Joffrey, however, to melt it down and add it to the others, which I thought was a little nice sting before he left. Sansa also asked for her father's forgiveness, and Joffrey, after hearing her sweet words, obliges, but says that Ned has to admit that he is a traitor and that Joffrey is the true king. We'll see if that actually is going to happen. Anyways, Varys goes to see him again and gives him some more water and explains to him that if he just confesses to everything that he was wrong and that Joffrey is the actual king, that they might show him some mercy. And by mercy, I mean letting him fucking freeze to death in the middle of nowhere with his husband, Eustace Bat. All right, I'm sorry, I'm old. But anyways, they want Ned to basically confess and then they'll send him to the wall to live his days out. And I mean, I don't know. Now, obviously, you know, Varys went to tell Ned about this, but Ned is basically explaining to him, look, man, I grew up with soldiers, so I don't mind dying. I learned how to die a long time ago. You want me to give up what? My peace of mind? My dignity for a few years of living on a wall with no bitches? Bro, I gotta live on a wall and get no pussy, bro? Hell no. I'm gonna be honest. Sure, I wouldn't say shit either. I don't want to go to the wall. But then Varys reminds him about his daughter's lives, and Ned had this look in his eye, like maybe just for a second he was contemplating it. Guess we're just gonna have to see how that plays out. Anyways, Robb is trying to pass this bridge so he can get his men closer to where they need to be. Unfortunately, it is held by Walter Frey, who is a bannerman of the Starks, but he's stubborn. So they send Cat in there to talk to him. Now, Cat has a conversation with Walter Frey, who is actually a douchebag. He's got a bunch of kids, man. Like, this nigga's basically the Nick Cannon of Game of Thrones, the NBA YoungBoy of Game of Thrones. All right, my fault. But he has all these kids, and all of his daughters are fucking hideous, by the way. They're going to come to some sort of agreement, an agreement that will let them pass over the bridge. But before that, at the wall, the Lord Commander gives Jon a new sword, a sword made of Valyrian steel that has a wolf at the top of the handle. The sword's actually pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. He went and showed all of his friends the sword. They were super excited about it, except for Sam. Sam's really sad because he has to tell Jon something, but he doesn't really want to, that Robb has went to war. and obviously Jon feels like he should be there with him. Now, basically, they make a deal at this point that Arya has to marry one of her sons, Robb has to marry one of his ugly-ass daughters. He also has to take his other son as a squire and to become a knight at some point. Robb doesn't want to consent, but he does anyway. This is very, very important, and this deal is going to facilitate a very crazy path to a plot point later down the line that I honestly have forgot about. Now, back at the wall, Jon is obviously stressed and wants to help Robb, but he ends up talking to Master Aemon, and Master Aemon explains to him that something like this happened to him before, and when his entire family was butchered, even the children. He is the son of Mycor, who is the son of Aegon. Yes, Master Aemon is Aemon Targaryen. Probably remember him from like the House of Dragons. You might have heard about him maybe in the House of Dragons show, or like, well, actually, I guess maybe not. He is old though. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you know about that. I feel like I remember him being mentioned, but like I'm not 100% sure. Either way, he is a Targaryen, which is crazy. But I mean, it makes sense though. I mean, he kind of looks like a Targaryen, I'll be honest. Anyways, after this, the Khalasar are riding and Khal Drogo is sick. He falls from his horse. Told you, shouldn't have trusted that bitch, but he did anyway. And it seems like the right-hand man of Khal does not want to listen to Khaleesi. He also feels the same way as the guy that literally just got his tongue pulled out of his neck, but you know, whatever. Khal's sick, so I'll do whatever I want. Anyways, Daenerys tells him to go get the witch. I don't know why you're going to go get the person that made him sick. Whatever, maybe you just don't realize it yet. God, I hate people. Anyways, Tyrion doesn't want to go on the battlefield, so he argues with Tywin about it. But Tywin, well, he doesn't give a fuck, because he doesn't care if Tyrion dies or not. Should be a win-win for him. Got Tyrion back, his son dies on the battlefield, and at least he's honorable now. Anyways, Tyrion meets a new prostitute. One that, well, looks like a foreign. Oh, no, what she said, but she foreign. Yeah, but she foreign. They foreign. All right, I ain't gonna lie, I have no idea what Lil Uzi is saying, but foreign? No, all right, my fault. Now, back at the Khalasar, the witch shows up, but also Khal's right hand, and Jorah. And they notice that, well, Khal's wound has festered. This nigga is going to die tonight. It's kind of sad, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, the witch explains that there's a spell that they could do that could maybe save him. Some fucking weird blood magic, which obviously I don't think is a good idea. Sounds like some satanic shit to me, but what do I know? I don't know nothing about that. That's all I can say. Anyways, she's like, yo, bring me his horse. What type of shit? Why are we bringing horses into his tent? Anyways, nobody wants to hear this shit. Jorah's trying to explain to Daenerys that once Khal dies, there'll be a bunch of fighting for who's going to be the next call, and that then they'll kill her and her son. But for some reason, she's like, no, I'm not leaving him. I'm not going to leave his side. I love him. Anyway, she slices this horse's throat. The blood squirts all over Khal, and I'm like, yo, what is even happening right now? Jorah's like, oh my God, what did you do, cuz? We gotta get you out of here. Oh, hell no, what the fuck is that? Now, Jorah ends up fighting this guy, and obviously he's strong, ferocious, and very fast. But unfortunately, Jorah, well, he has armor. So as soon as he tries to cut him, nothing happens, and he slices his face open. I have no idea why in the hell Jorah is carrying her in this tent. Anyways, back at the tent, yo, tent. Hey, yo, my bad, my fault. Back at the tent at the Lannisters, my man Tyrion is in there playing games with the little slut, and Bran as well. You know, Bran's there, so you know, there's that. Anyways, they're in this one game where they say something about someone and then they drink if they're wrong. And eventually we find out Tyrion was married. So he tells a story about how he got married to this hoe, you know, that he had saved from these people that were trying to rape. And then he finds out that Tywin and Jaime set the whole thing up so he could lose his virginity. And then Tywin, well, he paid her and he made Tyrion watch a bunch of men have their way with her. Yay! What a swell dad. This is when I learned that Tywin was well, kind of fucking crazy. Anyways, the next day, Tyrion goes out to the battlefield, and you're probably thinking like, okay, Tyrion, he about to get it in, you know, maybe fight some. But as soon as the fight starts, he gets hit, gets knocked out, and, well, all the fighting happened while he was asleep. Well, he survived, and apparently they won the battle. Robb lied about it though. He said 20,000 people were there, but he barely sent anyone. This was to throw people off. The reason why he was trying to throw people off in the first place is so he could get someone for a lot of leverage. Yep, he captured Jaime Lannister. Now Jaime, he gets captured and he wants to fight Robb right there. Fight him to end the war. Obviously, that's stupid. Jaime would just kill Robb. Now, Robb reminds everybody that, hey man, the war's far from over. We have one victory, but we didn't save my dad or my sisters. And we definitely didn't stop the Lannisters. What a guy. Anyways, at the end of the episode, something happened that is the worst shit of all time. Ned Stark, goes and confesses to everyone that he is wrong. He's a traitor, and that Joffrey is the true king. And Joffrey still has people murder him. Now, Ned has one of the guys from the wall go get Arya to help her escape. Sansa's obviously going to have to end up marrying Joffrey. And, well, Sir Ilyn, well, he cuts Ned's head off. Yep, just like that. Ned is murdered. It's kind of crazy, but, you know, it is what it is. I remember watching this when I was growing up, or not growing up. I think I was an adult when this came out. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I was either like a teenager, about to be an adult, or a young adult. But either way, I remember seeing this when I was around that age and thinking that that episode was going to be the season finale. But it wasn't. Now, in the season finale, we start off with Arya being turned into a boy. Yep, her hair's getting cut. She's getting turned into a fucking boy. Anyways, Bran keeps having these weird dreams about this three-eyed raven. So he goes to the catacombs. Now, obviously, everybody is getting information about Ned being killed. First Bran, then Cat and Robb. Robb does vow to kill everyone, but first they got to get their sisters back. And once he does, then, well, all hell is gonna break loose. We'll kill them all. Now, Joffrey's at King's Landing being an asshole. He had this guy that was singing a song at a tavern. He had his tongue removed, and then he takes Sansa to go see her dad's head on a pike. Crazy work. She then speaks back to Joffrey, and, well, he then has Sir Meryn slap the shit out of her twice. She contemplates pushing Joffrey off of this bridge right here, but she's stopped by the Hound, who gives her a cloth and tells her to keep it because she's going to be needing it to wipe her face from all the time she gets abused, like she's Chris Brown's girlfriend. Now, all of Robb's bannermen have sworn fealty to Robb once again, but this time as a king. They tell him that they'd rather him be king than anyone else because he's in the north, and that's what they have loyalty to. The king in the north, the king in the north, the king in the north. Well, if I had to hear that one more time, I was going to crash out. I almost turned my computer off. That shit was annoying. Now, Kat goes to see Jaime to find out why she pushed Bran from the window. Well, she doesn't know that's what happened, but that is what happened. He admits it to her. Doesn't tell her why, but tells her, well, you probably should go get some sleep because this is going to be a long war. You know, sometimes when I hear Jaime talk, I just hear womp 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 womp. Bro, I don't be trying to hear none of that shit he be talking about, bro. Like, I don't know why people be thinking Jaime's so sweet, bro. He kind of is a bitch to me. Like, I'll just keep it in the band. Bro's man ended up snaking Ned in their fight. Then he got captured by Robb. Like, this nigga suck. Anyways, back at the Khalasar. Oh yeah, by the way, Tyrion and Tywin had a conversation, but it's not super important. The main thing that I do want to say is that Tywin told Tyrion that he's not going to court that prostitute. What a swell dad. Now we find out that Daenerys had to pay for her, Khal Drogo's life with death. So the bitch sacrificed her son. Yep, her son died. This made Khal Drogo live, but he basically is a shell of himself. Now she admits to Daenerys, the witch, that she did this because she wanted to stop her son from becoming powerful in the future, but also to get revenge. Her temple was burnt, her people were raped and killed. She was raped 3 times, literally 3 times before Daenerys even saved her. Now back at the wall, Jon ends up leaving. Sam tells him not to, but he doesn't listen. Now Jon's friends go after him and try to convince him not to leave. They start reciting his oath to him and this makes Jon decide that maybe I can't leave and I should go back because he's a bitch. Oh yeah, Daenerys, she talks to Khal for the last time and she ends up suffocating him to death. Literally murders him with a pillow, which is crazy, but hey, I guess putting him out of his suffering is probably better than whatever life that was. Bro was literally just a husk of himself. Anyways, the scepter is literally still got his groove. Yes, sir. Man is in there fucking a prostitute. Wait a minute, is she wiping her pussy off? Ew. This man cat rap, I ain't gonna lie. Look at him. Look at him standing up. His back ain't even messed up. This nigga pretending. Imagine pretending to have scoliosis. Anyways, Arya is a little boy now, even though she doesn't look like a boy at all. Shorty got the Justin Bieber haircut, but her name is Aerie now. Yeah, Harry, a boy. Anyways, Arya is 2 seconds into meeting the people she's traveling with and already getting bullied by a fat kid. What's up with her and fat kids, man? It's crazy. Anyways, she stood up for herself though, and she was about to stab this nigga. None of that matters though. What does matter is she gets saved by King Baratheon's, by the late great Robb Baratheon's bastard. Yeah, the one that was a blacksmith working at the forge. Now back at the wall, the Lord Commander is talking to Jon. Says that honor made him leave and honor brought him back, but not his honor, the honor of his friends. Because they're getting reports that people are burning fires from dusk to dawn, all types of weird shit. So they end up leaving. Anyways, the Khaleesi Daenerys Dawnbond. All right, my bad. Why did I call her that? Anyways, Daenerys ends up making a pyre for Khal Drogo to be burned in because that's the honorable thing to do for the people of the Dothraki. She also, in this pillar, puts the dragon eggs. And also, the witch. Make this bitch go on a pyre too. Burn her dumb ass to death. Now she sets her on fire and then also to be with Khal. Now once it all goes out, we see Daenerys and oh my god, there are 3 dragons with her. The dragons fucking hatched. Daenerys has dragons. Oh yeah, it's over with now, I ain't gonna lie. Shorty got dragons. You know that it's going crazy. And that, my friends, is the end of season 1 of Game of Thrones.